Hello everyone and welcome back to the video with Dracon. As you can see, we're going to be getting into another another miniature today. This one we're jumping into Critical Roles series again. This is one I found online that kind of interested me enough that I thought, you know what? It's pretty cool, pretty dark looking. And that is Cree, Vessel of the Pattern. Now, like I've said before, I don't really watch Critical Role as much as I used to anymore. I'm kind of too busy and working on my own tabletop groups, things. So I don't really know what the lore behind Cree, the Vessel of the Pattern is. He's pretty cool looking. I like the skull with the wings on him, the cool claws, and the eyes all over. Kind of gives me sort of a Lovecraftian feel to him. Now, he could be a demon lord for all I know. He could be just a named being of darkness. I'm not sure. But I gotta say, I like his design from what I can see in the box. But we're going to get this bad boy opened up. We'll do some comparisons with him and some other models, and we'll take a look at him, shall we? Now, before we do, though, let me just do a quick thing here. Make sure you hit that like button for the channel, and you subscribe if you've not done so already. Helps more than you know, and join the Dragon Army. On top of that as well, share with your friends, and, you know, get more people to enjoy these lovely videos I make for you guys to enjoy, you lovely people. Now, let's open this bad boy up and get inside there. And here we go. Here he is out of the box. Cree, the Vessel of the Pattern. As you can see, without the box, you don't get that glare, but man, I gotta say, from just first look, he looks nice. Let's get him rotating so we can see him from all angles. Okay, so with Cree, the Vessel of the Pattern here, where's my first critique or first like? Well, I like his design. As you can see, he's got a lot of cool little red eyes. They don't seem to have any pupils in them, which is kind of, in my opinion, sort of sad. I wish they did. Like, even if they were... Oh, sorry, my camera's adjusting. There we go. Okay, and I just wish he had more pupillage going on, because, like, he does look good. Don't get me wrong. I love his designs. He kind of has a bit of the gibbering mouthers, or if by Lovecraftian terms, like the Shoggoth, but then he has, like, these big spikes and tendrils and the hands and the... You know, I don't even know if that's actually his face. That might not be his face. Because, I mean, with a lot of these sort of amorphous creatures like this, they usually make something that's like a face sort of as a mockery to us normal creatures. So we have something to focus on when we talk to him. So maybe that's what that is. But overall, he looks really good. Now, I mean, I thought he had wings. I was actually wrong. I thought those were wings. I couldn't see enough in the box because of the angle. But he's got some cool spikes in the back. I love those, like, spikes there. They're really nice. Overall, you can see the lovely, like, what I like to call strands of flesh, the muscle strands ideal going on. You see the swirling of, like, this matter that he's made out of. I don't know if he's made of meat. Like I said, I don't know his lore. If you guys know his lore, go ahead and throw it in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it, because, like, he's just cool looking. He's got such good details going on there. I love like I said, I love the red eyes. Like I said, though, I really wish there were pupils in there just to really kind of bring it home. And, like, I don't even want them all looking in the same direction. I mean, they could be. If they did that, that'd be pretty cool. Pretty nice little touch. Like, they're all looking in a directional same spot. So, like, if you looked at it, you'd be like, wow, they all do. But yeah, those ones in the back that I guess, yeah, they'd have to kind of be looking anywhere. But I definitely would say for this creature, it'd be more of, like, something sounding like this. Your party walks into a dark room. Suddenly, they notice moving in the chateau. A red eye appears. Another eye farther away. And then, as your member lights their torch, you suddenly notice a giant, writhing, dark mass of eyes and claws. A bony skull comes out of the darkness to peer at you with a central eye. And then you realize this creature is not of your world. Something like that for a cool introduction. Now, I don't know if, you know, you would do it the same way, but if you're using him for a random campaign and not specifically a Critical Role-esque campaign, I would definitely use something like that. You could use him as a fallen god and a tropal. Would be a nice replacement, because I know tropals are dead gods. This could be a dead god. I mean, I think they're all huge or something like that, or big, and this guy's definitely big enough. But let's get to what we want to do. We're going to do some comparisons of this big boy and some demons and demon lords, and see how he does kind of stacked up. So here we have the Cree, the Vessel, next to a Goristro. Now, we all know what Goristros are. They're basically a demonic minotaur of huge proportion, just like this big boy. And as you can see, they're pretty comparable and pretty sizable. But considering Goristros are some of, like, the biggest and strongest demons in the monster manual you're going to come across, normally, I say normally, like, you know, original book without additional extras. I believe this, if I remember correctly, yep, this is from the Mountain of the Mad Mage. That was from his set, I believe. Yeah, I think it was. I don't think it was from the Hell set, because that Hell set was small. The Mad Mage was actually huge and above for size. So yeah, it was definitely the Mountain and the Mad Mage or whatever, which is pretty cool. Was a good set. I actually have 2 of these big bad boys, so that's really cool. I could have him being like his flanking minion, since these things are used by other demon lords other than the, King of Minotaurs, since he is the one that created them. Baphomet did make them, but they do not only serve Baphomet. I do believe that they have a loyalty to Baphomet above others, so like even if they were told to kill Baphomet, they wouldn't, out of like fear for their original creator. And maybe a little respect. But overall, yeah, you can see that he could definitely be comparable to the Goristro. Let's do another creature, though, shall we? So here we have him up next to a fellow Critical Role model from an older set I reviewed, Thrasfire. Now, that's how I say his name. I could be saying it wrong. If I'm saying it wrong, throw it in the comments down below how to say it properly. My bad. But, as you can see next to another giant demon of huge size, yeah, they're both pretty big, beefy boys. And he's not too bad. Now, I did always say that Thrasfire, I wish, had a little more shading going on. A little more wash on his underside, because it's way too bright. And maybe some like striping on his red body, but because he's very monocoloristic, like he's got 1 color and 2 color, and there's no mixing, no blending. But as you can see, though, next to him, though, he does have more details going on. He's a little, in my opinion, a little cooler. But don't get me wrong, Thrasfire does have a nice sort of rampaging beast effect going on there. So does, I get what it's coming from. I like the dragon tail going on there. So yeah, really cool. But let's compare him to one more, and this one will be interesting because it's a demon lord from, or actually, sorry, it's a archdevil from D&D. So here we have him next to the archdevil Garyon. Now, I have reviewed this guy in the past. If you want to check out that video, do so. Now, as you can see, next to an archdevil, which is actually a high ranker in the 9 Hells, pretty impressive. I mean, Garyon is a powerful warrior, and yet next to him, this guy could compete / battle him, I believe, in size and probably power. I don't know what his stat block is, so I don't know if he's actually physically strong or if he's more magical. Maybe he's more like Dagon, where he's more on the intelligence side. Even though, granted, Dagon is actually really powerful as well, but, you know, is what it is. Overall, though, I think he's a really nice model. Now, let's get to our final thoughts. So, overall, final thoughts on the vessel here. Well, okay. First off, his price range. When I got him, it was during the, I believe, the Prime Days sales. So, I got him at a slightly cheaper price. I think he was around, like, 30 bucks. Which, overall, if you're looking for a big, bad, nasty-looking monster-looking man... Uh-oh. Sorry about that. I had to fix something. But if you're looking for a big, beastly monster man, or, you know, amorphous beast, or just a demonic-looking being that looks like it's going to kill you, I'd say Vessel here is going to be right up your alley. I would say get him. If you can get him for cheaper than, like, 30 bucks, I think he was, like, 35, so he had, like, $5 off coupon on him on Amazon when I snagged this guy because of the deal, which I thought, he's pretty cool. And I've gotten other Critical Role things that are nice, but they're not on shelves because they're just more eh. Like, I have the Fire Rock. It's not on a shelf because it's just a giant flaming bird. I have, like, you know, I do have some of the other Critical Role creatures, Pathfinder creatures on shelves. Actually, you know, not so many of the Critical Role now that I think about it. I don't seem to put too many of them on a shelf for display. I don't know why. And it's not that I hate them, but I think it's maybe more because a lot of them are like large classes. Like there's the demon there, Thelsifer, but you know, I don't use him that often. I mean, granted, in my campaign coming up, I will have plenty of options and plenty of things to use. But I also don't know enough about this Krell the Vessel. I might want to look more into it and see if anything was lore I want to pick up or anything I can compare him to. But other than that, I think he's a really great model. I'm glad to add him to the collection. He actually probably will go on a shelf, though. So he'll be the first one that's actually going to go on a shelf. I mean, don't get me wrong. If Critical Role came out with a cool dragon or something and it looked super cool, don't get me wrong. He'd go on a shelf because I love my dragons. But until they do, we're getting a lot of these demonic beasts and specialized creatures. And I don't hate that. As I said with the last set I did with the snake guys and the flame variant of a boule, basically, really was a good set. And overall, this one, I would say, guys, if you can get it for like around 30 or below, I would immediately say pick this up. Who knows what the availability is going to be. But it's a cool piece, and I think if you wanted a cool-looking demonic monster, even for just a shelf piece, this guy's going to do it. Because he has enough look, and that when you put him in a slightly darker thing, which I mean, I could do, but my lighting system is all set up, so I'm not going to change it. But overall, look at him, though. He's really cool. Like I said, I wish there were some little pupils in the eyes. They don't all have to be looking in the same direction, just some, like, demonic-ish looking pupils, like slit pupils. Slit pupils, like with snakes and other reptiles or even cat eyes, something like that, would be really cool. I do notice there's a little bit of skull flash on the eyeballs, so they definitely, unless, you know what, that actually, my bad, that might not actually be overpainting, that might just be normal. I wish they'd made that black instead of skull colored, because I think it would make it pop more. I wish they did a little more wash on the inside of his eyeball, or like the eye socket of his skulls. Maybe a little more wash on his skin itself. It's nice. I get the dry brushing of the lighter purple. I wish they'd done a little more like wash for those indents, so you get more dark shadowy recesses. I think it would have made this thing pop a little more. Now, overall, would I give this thing like a full perfect thing and like that's good enough the way it is? Yes, I would say so. I just wish they had like surrounded the eyes with a black line around them to help make them pop a little more, because the skull color and the purple with the red, it looks good, but I think the black would help make it pop. Like you get that dark color, then bam, this bright glowing red. Plus it kind of gives the factor of like the void inside, which is kind of cool. But overall, great model. This is a good one. WizKids, you did good. You did a good job. It came out, to my opinion, good. Now, if I was doing it, I would have definitely tried the other variant and see if that looked better. But man, good model. Very good model. Pricing being around $30, I think that's where it should stay. I don't think it should go back up to 35 or anything higher. Unless it's becoming collectible, I guess at that point, can't really do much about it. But I think for $30, you got a dead ringer of what I'd call a success. So overall, great job, and thank you all for staying for the video for this long. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you're not missing out on any more content when I throw it out there. And that's all I've got for you today, guys. Have a great one. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so, and have a good day. Bye-bye.